So I got some feedback and some questions on my last video. I don't know if it was my last one, but one of my prior videos. So I wanted to go into that a little bit. The gist of the last video was you can separate your actions from your emotions, right? So that's a basic concept, but one that not all of us understand. Some of the feedback I got was, well, everybody understands that. How do we do it? So the truth is not everyone understands that. So I coach a lot of high level senior executives and they still don't really get that. You know, I think of the movie scene in Good Will Hunting where Robin Williams is a therapist for Matt Damon, and he's telling him, because he's talking about his abuse growing up, that it's not your fault. And Matt Damon's like, I know. He says, no, it's not your fault, son. And Matt Damon's like, yeah, I know. And he has to take that in, and there's a breakdown and all that, and you can see the movie. But this is development. This stuff, you have to really take this in, because let's use anger for a second. Anger comes over us sometimes, and we can't control that. We may know that we don't have to act on that anger, but it doesn't happen easily, and so we have to really take that in. And that's what I mean by that. That was the gist of the last video, and why I think that's valuable to understand that, to think about that, and to take that in. So, for what it's worth, the acronym I want to talk about today is AWE. AWE. This comes from a good coach of mine. I have many coaches, but one of them is Mary Bast. I'll try to tag her in the comments below. She's a great coach, and she focuses on the Enneagram. She's really amazing with that. And anyway, she taught me an acronym that I still use to this day and give to many of my clients. And the acronym is AWE, A-W-E. Be in awe. So A stands for awareness. The first step is awareness. You have to get awareness around this whole thing that's going on. That's not an easy step. It's understanding and being aware that we don't have to act on our emotions. So that's the awareness. Getting that awareness takes a while. And by what I mean by that is really understanding it in the moment. So we'll talk about anger just as one of the emotions. So if anger comes up, we become aware of it. The second piece of the acronym is W. AWE, W. W stands for watching. So once you can get in the moment and the anger comes over you, and you can get ahead of it so much that you actually watch that, or even afterwards, become more and more aware of what's happening to you and how it's happening and whatever's, so the watching piece, that's another big part of that. And in here we can get into some tactics, right? I'll talk about tactics and strategies. Tactics can be things like looking down at your feet to get out of the space for a second, to remove yourself from the room, to focus on your breathing, the air going in and out of your nostrils. Anything in that moment that is something that will separate you for a second from emoting so much, being so angry, catching your breathing. Brene Brown talks about it in a video. She's pretty popular. She talks about turning her ring 3 times before she says something. So that's a tactic, right? It's a thing you can do right now. You can make a commitment to try to do something like that, and you will change your behavior. Very important. Very important piece of the process. And then the third letter is E for experiment. So this is where we're starting to get into maybe strategies a little bit, but you experiment with being different. But you have to catch yourself in the moment of emoting first, being angry, and figuring out how you're going to be different. So strategies might include things like exercise, meditation. Meditation is a huge one. Getting more and more literature out about it and the evidence behind it, and the reducing of stress and all the good things that happen from meditation. Well, I promise you, if you meditate today, you're not going to see a difference tomorrow. It's a strategy. It takes time. It takes development. That's what a lot of this executive coaching is all about. It takes development over time. So what else? Strategies. Yoga is a good strategy. Any exercise. Something I'm doing. Hot yoga is my favorite, by the way. It's amazing. I always liked yoga, but hot yoga takes it to another level, and I really, really enjoy that. Another one is cold showers, and I'll talk about that sometime too. Get you in your moment real quick. It brings you into your body. But anything that brings you into your body is going to make you more sensitive, more aware of what it is that you need to do to get in that moment when that anger comes over you, because you're not going to be conscious at first about that. So anyway, strategies, execution, tactics, the acronym AWE. I hope all this helps, and thank you for your time, and have a good one.